ladies, gentlemen, and distinguished guests, welcome to Government House. My name is Gerard Martin and I'm the Secretary to the Council for the Order of Australia and the Secretary to the Australian Bravery Decorations Council. I wish to acknowledge the Ngunnawal people as the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting today and recognise any other people or families with connection to the lands of the ACT or the region. I acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of this city and this region. And I would also like to acknowledge and welcome other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who may be attending today's event. The Australian Honours System is an important mechanism to recognise and celebrate ordinary people who do extraordinary things. Today is a special day, not only for the recipients, but also for their families, friends, and communities. It is a day when we celebrate a diverse range of impressive achievements and service. We here at Government House are privileged to play a small part in the recognition and celebration of that achievement. I hope we can help make today an occasion that you will recall with pride for years to come. Shortly, I will invite you to stand, if you're able, as the Governor-General enters the room. Please remain standing for the Australian National Anthem. After I read the names and citations, recipients will enter the room from the doorway on my right, and once reading a biography of their service and they have been invested, they will leave by the centre aisle to take their seats at the back of the room. At this point, you may like to show your appreciation with a short applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please now stand for the arrival of Her Excellency, the Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, and the singing of the National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Well, good afternoon to you all and a very, very warm welcome. As Gerard has done, I'd also like to acknowledge that we meet on the lands of the Ngunnawal people and recognise any other people or families with connections to the ACT and our surrounding regions. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and I think a few children, which is always wonderful to see at Investiture services. It is a great pleasure and privilege to be with you here at Government House on this very important day. This truly is a place of warmth and welcome that belongs to all Australians. And on Investiture days in particular, Government House echoes with history, with excellence, contribution and optimism. A current of stories over decades, lived and told by people who have shaped our modern nation in the image of their own energy. Today, we join your stories to theirs and anchor them to our hopes and ambitions for the future. Now, I was recently in this room with my family and friends before I was appointed your Governor-General to celebrate my own investiture. So I know exactly how many of you are actually feeling today. There's excitement, some nerves, pride in your remarkable achievements, and gratitude to the families, communities, and organisations who have always been there with you. And I know that you will all have a renewed sense of purpose to carry on your work and encourage others to make their own contributions. Now, in this room, every year we greet about 25,000 students from around the country who come on school tours to learn about Government House and the Governor-General and the place in our Australian democracy. When they're here, they hear from our aide-de-camps and the House staff about many things, but the thing that they are always most interested in are the honours and awards system. And as you walk out after the ceremony for us to enjoy some refreshments, you'll see the board of medals and awards that those young people see when they come to Government House. And I wanted you to know that they look at them with a great deal of interest. They want to know who gets those medals, who gets those awards, and they're always delighted to know that these are things that ordinary Australians can nominate, and that anyone that makes a significant contribution, no matter where they do that, can be honoured with these remarkable awards and medals. So you are in their stories now when we keep telling those children as they come through why the Australian Honours and Awards system matters so much to us. I also want to let you know that as your Governor-General, with the immense privilege of investing you with your honours, I'm also humbled and very proud. Before I took office, I took the opportunity to meet with all living former Governors-General, and every one of them told me that Investiture days were some of the most memorable in their terms. In fact, my predecessor, the former Governor-General David Hurley, liked to say, investitures are one of the greatest joys of this role. You cannot help but be uplifted. And having already read all about all of our inductees today, your achievements and your incredible contribution, I can tell you that I'm already uplifted and filled with admiration for you all. Now, today has been long in the making and the planning. For those that are here to receive an honour, it has been your lifetime. And for our nation, it's a day foreshadowed by 65,000 years of Indigenous culture, shared so generously by the oldest continuing culture in the world. Our British institutions of law and democracy, and the vibrant, successful, multicultural society we celebrate today as modern Australia. It really is a day to remember. And it is said that an honours and awards system is only as good as the people it recognises. So I can say with absolute confidence that our Australian system is the best in the world because of you. Your dedication to serving your communities and nation is essential to the optimism, the confidence and pride of all Australians as we build our remarkable nation's future together. From the most extraordinary array of disciplines, contributions and excellence from all of you, you exemplify the depth and breadth of Australian values. And at this time of the year, investiture ceremonies are taking place all over the country. In every capital city, in every government house, remarkable Australians like you are gathering to be recognised for outstanding service or exceptional achievement. And now, while every recipient's accomplishment is as unique as each of your own stories and character, you are united by the qualities of kindness, care, respect, excellence and generosity that sit at the heart of everything you do. You care for people and communities. You care for excellence, discovery, creativity and ingenuity. You care for our institutions and our stunningly beautiful continent and natural environment. You care for the diversity that we celebrate in all its forms and the possibility that rests with a deep commitment to inclusion and belonging as a nation. Now, I know that the joy and optimism that I feel in your company today is shared in communities and organisations across the country, but particularly in your communities, your organisations and your families, the people you represent and who have supported you. I hope all of you, those of you who are to be invested and your family and friends who are here to witness this ceremony are also uplifted and inspired and so very, very proud. Congratulations to you all, and I look forward to spending some lovely time with you after the ceremony to get to know a lot more about the work you've done and hopefully share your story with all the people I get to meet in this job. Congratulations to you all. Please enjoy the day. This is a memorable moment and one that I hope lives in your memories and your family's lives for a very long time.
Your Excellency, to be appointed an Officer of the Order of Australia in the Military Division, Vice Admiral Justin Jones, for distinguished service to the Royal Australian Navy in significant command positions. Vice Admiral Jones has held significant senior command roles in the Royal Australian Navy, the Australian Defence Force Joint Operations Command and Maritime Border Command. Vice Admiral Jones has persistently displayed inspiring determination and leadership managing complex affairs. He has developed guiding fundamental process reforms and inspired people to challenge processes and think laterally. Through his inspirational leadership, he has promoted professionalism and capability, enhanced training outcomes and personnel management. Vice Admiral Jones has distinguished himself through his devotion to duty and outstanding achievement, often in difficult and demanding circumstances. Over a career in prominent command positions, he has achieved exceptional results in the finest traditions of the Royal Australian Navy. Vice Admiral Justin Jones appointed an officer of the Order. To be appointed a member of the Order of Australia in the Military Division, Brigadier Duncan Hayward. For exceptional service in reforming recruiting practices to build an adaptable, scalable, modern recruiting system for the generation of Australian Defence Force capability. Brigadier Hayward has provided exceptional service in complex and high-risk programs of work. Championing innovative ideas and new strategies, he has made substantive and highly valued contributions across a range of appointments. As Director General, Defence Force Recruiting, Brigadier Hayward simultaneously drove innovation and process improvement at a time affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and a challenging recruiting landscape. His leadership was instrumental in modernising service delivery. Brigadier Hayward is an energetic leader who consistently shows organisational acumen, perseverance and resilience. Brigadier Duncan Hayward, appointed a member of the Order. To be appointed a member of the Order of Australia in the Military Division, Brigadier Natasha Ludwig, for exceptional service towards the development of Army logistics capability as Director of Logistics Army and as a Commander of the 17th Sustainment Brigade. Brigadier Ludwig's strategic foresight and inclusive approach has greatly enhanced cohesion across the entire defence enterprise. When posted to Land Capability Division, Brigadier Ludwig's superior understanding of finances and logistics has significantly advanced capability development. In January 2022, she assumed command of the 17th Sustainment Brigade. Her exceptional understanding and strategic acumen were essential to building consensus across a large and geographically separated brigade. Her leadership enhanced the readiness of the 17th Sustainment Brigade, increasing the level of support provided to Army and Defence in all domestic and offshore operations, as well as major training activities. Brigadier Natasha Ludwig, appointed a member of the Order. To be awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia in the General Division, Mrs. Judith Caldwell, for service to the community of Cooma. Mrs. Caldwell has always strived to improve and strengthen the communities she has lived in. She is a former nurse and founding member of the Monaro Committee for Cancer Research and has been a volunteer for the Cooma Pastoral and Agricultural Association for 2 decades. Mrs. Caldwell was also a board member of the Raglan Gallery, Cooma, for 12 years and remains a member of the Nimmitabel and District Garden Club. She has been an integral part of many volunteer organisations, working hard in the local community while always beaming with kindness and empathy. Mrs. Judith Caldwell, awarded the Medal of the Order. To be awarded a Medal of the Order of Australia in the General Division, Mrs. Yohani Johns for service to tertiary education. Mrs. Johns has had a profound impact as an Indonesian language teacher, helping countless people in Australia develop an appreciation of Indonesian culture. She was a lecturer and teacher of Indonesian language and studies for nearly 3 decades at the Australian National University, and also founded the Faculty of Asian Studies there in the early 60s. Author of a number of works increasing Australian knowledge of Indonesian culture, Mrs. Johns was also cultural advisor to Prime Minister John Gorton in 1968. Mrs. Johns inspired multiple generations of Australians to take up Indonesian language, cultivating people-to-people ties that are so critical to our two countries' foreign relations. Mrs. Yohani Johns, awarded the Medal of the Order. To be awarded a Medal of the Order of Australia in the General Division, Dr. Mark O'Connor for service to literature as a poet and educator. Dr. O'Connor has been an environmental poet since 1972. In this time, he has authored 12 books of poetry, worked as poetry editor at the Canberra Times and editor of 2 centuries of Australian poetry. He has also taught English literature at the University of Western Australia and the Australian National University. Dr. O'Connor was also National Vice President of Sustainable Population Australia for a decade and was a former council member of the Australian Conservation Foundation. Dr. O'Connor's wide-ranging imagination and sensitive intelligence has made him an effective advocate for the environment, respected and influential poet, and a passionate and well-informed teacher. Dr. Mark O'Connor, awarded the Medal of the Order. To be awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia in the Military Division, Wing Commander Matthew Kelly for meritorious service in joint logistics, Air Force career management, and initial military training capability development. Wing Commander Kelly is a skilled and professional officer who has made significant contributions to the Australian Defence Force over many years of dedicated service. His leadership and meritorious service in the professional advancement and welfare of others has had a profound impact on workplace morale and culture and has been an exemplar of Royal Australian Air Force traditions and values. Wing Commander Kelly has displayed inspirational leadership, skillful management, and selfless devotion to the development of others across several important postings since 2016. His initiative and strategic understanding have brought immense credit upon him and the Royal Australian Air Force. Wing Commander Matthew Kelly, awarded the Medal of the Order. To be awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross, Major Jeffrey Brennan, for outstanding achievement in technical joint force communications integration within the Australian Defence Force. Major Brennan has demonstrated conspicuous leadership and technical acumen to achieve technical joint force communications integration for the Australian Defence Force. Major Brennan has shown dedication to theoretically solving and then practically demonstrating how the Australian Defence Force can reduce the number of computer networks it develops and deploys. This will strengthen the Australian Defence Force's warfighting capabilities for years to come. Major Brennan's accomplishments have led to significant technical communication outcomes for key allies and partners, as well as the Australian Defence Force. Major Jeffrey Brennan awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross. To be awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Petty Officer Stephen Dunlop, for devotion to duty as a weapons systems maintainer in the Royal Australian Navy. Petty Officer Dunlop has demonstrated dedication and professionalism in his contribution to the Royal Australian Navy as a weapons systems maintainer. Using his problem-solving skills, technical mastery and knowledge, Petty Officer Dunlop has contributed to the professional development of technicians in the fleet. His fervent attitude drove him to establish technical knowledge baselines through research and development of systems interface data. His work enabled other weapons technicians to educate themselves on the maintenance and optimisation of newly introduced systems. Petty Officer Dunlop's leadership and commitment have increased weapons system serviceability and substantially enhanced capability across the Hobart-class destroyer platform. Petty Officer Stephen Dunlop awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal. To be awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Captain Belinda Greenwood, for meritorious achievement as the Director of the Defence People System Implementation. Captain Greenwood has made an enormous contribution as the Director of the Defence People System Implementation. Her leadership and influence and tireless and exemplary commitment to her work have been vital in introducing this large-scale reform. Captain Greenwood turned a complex and multifaceted challenge into an achievable course of action, using new approaches to human resource management. She consistently demonstrated an extraordinary work ethic, superior understanding of complex systems, and excellent leadership, resulting in enterprise-wide reform. Captain Belinda Greenwood awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal. To be awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Price, for meritorious achievement in the provision of movement support for the Australian Defence Force and whole of government operations. Through meticulous coordination, initiative and resourcefulness, Lieutenant Colonel Price has made a significant contribution to joint operations movements support across a multitude of theatres in complex environments. His efforts have considerably enhanced national strategic outcomes. He personally led coordination of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Humanitarian Operations Crisis Centre, as well as state government agencies with Defence Force elements in diverse operations. These included supporting the response to earthquakes in Tonga, the Afghanistan non-combatant evacuation, and defence support in the domestic response to bushfires, COVID-19, floods, and aged care. Lieutenant Colonel Price has shown dedication and professional mastery across many complex missions. His contributions are a credit to him and the Australian Army. Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Price, awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal. To be awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Squadron Leader Rebecca Trembath, for meritorious achievement as the Chief Instructor at the Royal Australian Air Force Security and Fire School. Squadron Leader Trembath's drive, leadership and professionalism resulted in outstanding contributions to security forces and firefighter training within the Royal Australian Air Force. As Chief Instructor, Squadron Leader Trembath was responsible for the overall delivery of security force and firefighter training. She brought together a diverse team of instructors and support staff to improve outcomes through innovation and systems-based analysis of training processes and personnel abilities. Her achievements created resource savings and increased training effectiveness through a culture of resilience. Squadron Leader Rebecca Trembath, awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal. To be awarded the Public Service Medal was Leonie Holloway for outstanding service in leading the National Cultural Task Force to deliver Australia's first cultural policy in over a decade. An inclusive and gentle leader, Ms. Holloway led a national consultation process to hear opinions from arts and cultural organisations, the public, state and territories, while also supporting advisory groups. This important work was undertaken with integrity and respect. Overseeing an interdepartmental committee to develop whole-of-government policy and to secure funding, as Holloway's extraordinary leadership and ability to deliver results under immense pressure and compressed timeframes culminated in the launch of the policy in January 2023. The policy development process was a one-of-a-kind achievement in the arts portfolio. Demonstrating impeccable professionalism with an unwavering moral compass, Ms. Holloway models public sector excellence. Ms. Leonie Holloway, awarded the Public Service Medal. To be awarded the Public Service Medal, Mr. Terry Knight, for outstanding public service to the Upper Lachlan Shire in the area of water and sewerage operations. During a remarkable 50 years of service, Mr. Knight is renowned in the Upper Lachlan Shire community as someone with unwavering dedication, who can be relied upon to help at any hour of the day or night. As Senior Water and Sewer Operator, Mr. Knight has extensive knowledge of the town's underground infrastructure. By sharing his knowledge and expertise, he has been an invaluable asset to council, business and the community, contributing to their smooth functioning, growth and development. Mr. Knight has also often served as a mediator during difficult situations because of his ability to maintain composure and find practical solutions. His willingness to go above and beyond the call of duty is exceptional. Mr. Terry Knight, awarded the Public Service Medal. To be awarded the Australian Police Medal, Assistant Commissioner Douglas Boudry, for distinguished service as a member of the Australian Police Force. Assistant Commissioner Boudry has worked across a variety of capabilities throughout his 25 years of policing, including community policing, technical surveillance, digital forensics, enterprise ICT, covert and technical operations. His leadership was significant during Operation Ironside, the largest ever undertaken by the AFP, which dealt a long-lasting blow to serious and organised crime in Australia and internationally. He was integral in the drafting of the new Surveillance Legislation Amendment, Identify and Disrupt Act 2021, and headed the reform of the AFP's compliance to the Telecommunications Interception and Access Act and the Surveillance Devices Act. Assistant Commissioner Boudry is currently Deputy Chief Police Officer in ACT Policing, a key advisor to the Chief Police Officer, responsible for operations and investigation commands and employee welfare. Assistant Commissioner Douglas Boudry, awarded the Australian Police Medal. To be awarded the Australian Fire Service Medal, Mr. Colin O'Rourke, for distinguished service as a member of an Australian fire service. For more than 4 decades, Mr. O'Rourke has worked to protect the ACT and region, displaying a commitment to continuous improvement and professional development in all aspects of firefighting operations. Mr. O'Rourke was instrumental in responding to major bushfires in 1994, 2001, 2003, 2011, and 2019-20. On each occasion, he placed himself in harm's way to protect the community. His tenure as the commander of ACT Rural Fire Service training, delivery, and skill maintenance raised and maintained training standards, ensuring each individual participant reached their full potential. Today, after 44 years of combined dedicated service to the community, Mr. O'Rourke continues to set high professional standards, ensuring the emergency service is held in the highest regard. Mr. Colin O'Rourke, awarded the Australian Fire Service Medal. To be awarded the Australian Fire Service Medal, Mr. Charles Schuster, for distinguished service as a member of an Australian Fire Service. Mr. Schuster transferred to the Falls Creek Volunteer Rural Fire Brigade in Shoalhaven in 1990, where he served in the operational roles of Deputy Captain, Senior Deputy Captain, and is currently Captain and Brigade Training Officer. He has been active in major bushfire campaigns, including Barrengarry 1993-94, Black Christmas 2001-2002, Sale 2003, Canberra 2003, Victoria 2006, Coonabarabran 2013, Deans Gap 2013, and the Black Summer bushfires of 2019-20. Over the past 4 years, Mr. Schuster has organised events for the Shoalhaven residents with special needs, rallying other brigade members to provide joy for these young families and fire families. He is a role model, confidant and advisor. The fireground benefits from his extensive experience and calm approach to unexpected situations. Mr. Charles Schuster, awarded the Australian Fire Service Medal. To be awarded the Ambulance Service Medal, Ms. Joanne Miles, for distinguished service as a member of an Australian ambulance service. Ms. Miles has demonstrated exceptional clinical and management experience in the provision of clinical care to the community and training to colleagues during her 21 years with the ACT Ambulance Service. Her commitment to professional development has seen many members go on to teach and champion clinical excellence within the broader workforce. She was the first female driving standards instructor in the ACT, blazing a path for women aspiring additional career progression and opportunity. Ms. Miles has overseen improvements in the delivery of non-emergency patient transport services and the extended care paramedic. She also regularly supervises on the front line and utilises her skill set as an intensive care paramedic. Ms. Miles is committed to the highest ethical and professional standards and is a true collaborative leader and role model. Ms. Joanne Miles awarded the Ambulance Services Medal. To be awarded the Australian Corrections Medal, Mr. Dean Smith, for distinguished service as a member of an Australian correctional service. Mr. Smith has been a frontline correctional officer with the ACT Corrective Services since 1997. He has exceptional communication and liaison skills, which allow him to quickly resolve conflict with detainees experiencing heightened emotional states. The detainees show him respect as he is tactful, considerate, upfront and transparent in his dealings with them. He is experienced in planning and coordinating operational responses to incidents and possesses a high level of situational awareness. Mr. Smith, throughout his career, has displayed significant professionalism and integrity and is most deserving of this recognition. Mr. Dean Smith, awarded the Australian Corrections Medal. To be awarded the Australian Correction Medal, Mr. James Taylor Dias, for distinguished service as a member of an Australian correctional service. Mr. Taylor Dias has worked in the corrections industry in the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Queensland, and for the past 2 years in the ACT. He holds a substantive position as the Director of the Court Transportation Unit and is currently the Acting Director of Accommodation. These are just two of the leadership positions he has held within the ACT Corrective Services. Mr. Taylor Dias supports detainees through cell placement, welfare and induction services. He carries out tasks such as searches, escort duties, observing and assessing detainee behaviours and supports positive behavioural change. Mr. Taylor Dias is a consummate correctional leader who is a reliable and steady influence. He consistently delivers quality advice and practice in all areas of his work. Mr. James Taylor Dias, awarded the Australian Corrections Medal. To be awarded the Commendation for Brave Conduct, Mr. Levi Symington. Commended for brave conduct for his actions following an incident with a driver in Canberra on February 24, 2021. At around 7:30 p.m, Mr. Symington came across a ute that had rammed into two stationary vehicles while driving at high speed. As the car appeared to be moving towards onlookers, Mr. Symington ran to the vehicle as it started to lose traction in the dirt, calling out to the driver to stop. The driver did not stop the vehicle, so with difficulty he managed to remove the keys from the ignition while avoiding aggressive, unrestrained dogs that were inside the vehicle. Emergency services arrived shortly after and took control of the scene. In the face of danger, Mr. Symington was most selfless and brave. Mr. Levi Symington, awarded the Commendation for Brave Conduct. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentations this afternoon. I now invite recipients to join Her Excellency for a formal photograph at the state entrance. And after a moment, everyone else is welcome to follow me to the lakeside lawn for refreshments. Please stand now for the departure of Her Excellency and the recipients.